Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Yo, and welcome to Run It Back on this fine Monday in June.
Welcome back, Beads.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Lou
Will, yeah, I feel great. Chandler P, Boogie Cousins, Lou Will there from Atlanta. You are in Atlanta, yeah? I'm just assuming.
Yes,
okay,
I am home.
Just wanted to confirm that with you.
It's good lighting he's got.
He does have good lighting. We do have a draft tomorrow.
It's just a ring light, Chandler. It ain't science.
It's
just a
unreal.
ring.
Oh, see what he did right there? He's just trying to tell you he's better looking than you. We got it. But we do have a lot of stories, and as we predicted, this summer would be sort of the Giannis summer to figure out where and when and if he leaves Milwaukee. We don't know yet, but Mark Stein is reporting that the Celtics have emerged from the weekend with a real shot to win this little race with a Jaylen Brown-centric offer. This is making my brain hurt. But Brian Windhorst said Celtics are going all in on a trade for Giannis by officially offering Jaylen Brown for the first time. This is actually happening. All right, Chandler, I'm going to start with you. If this were to happen, does this make them the favorites in the East?
Oh, didn't see that question.
Okay, well, you can answer a different one.
I mean, yeah, they're going to be up there. I think regardless whether they stay put and they bring back this core of Brown, Tatum, and White, they're going to have a real shot. They're going to have a great team. They're going to be well coached. But when you add a Giannis, we're talking about a different level of player. We're talking about a top 5 player when healthy. And yeah, he's been banged up. Yeah, he's missed some times. Yeah, he's 31 years old, but he is still an elite player. He still showed signs of elite athleticism. And it just feels like Jaylen Brown's kind of time there has run out, to be honest with you, which is crazy to me because he just had such a great year. This is one of his best years. He just said his favorite year, all NBA type season, and now I feel like it's just kind of gotten stale from everything
because of the Twitch.
Just because of kind of everything's revolved around him, which is crazy because the dude's all top 10 player in the NBA, but the way they play offense, the way they play fast, they shoot more threes than anybody. This could work if they keep Derek White, if they keep guys like Sam Hauser and Pritchard and surround him with shooting and spacing. Yeah, I think Giannis is still unbelievable and can still have a great year. Now, to give up a guy a little bit younger than him in his prime than Jaylen Brown's a little worrisome, but like I said, everything kind of revolved around Jaylen Brown and the Celtics. Just feels to me like it's coming to an end. I think this is a great plan for both, and I think Milwaukee gets a younger star that they can build around or package to a third team. So I think it works both ways, honestly.
Feels a little weird to me, Boogie. A little bit weird.
It's a little weird to me, and the reason I say that is when you think about the roster build out of the Celtics right now, they have more of a championship window with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum moving forward. So you look at them, now offering a younger asset in Jaylen Brown for Giannis. It kind of shortens up their championship window. Like we said, like Chandler said, Giannis is about to be 31 years old coming up. So obviously, his prime is coming to a close. So when you think about it from that standpoint, it doesn't quite make sense when, with the way they're built now, they're still a championship contending team. So obviously, Giannis is an extreme talent. He's going to make any team he joins better. But as far as that part and figuring out how long of a championship window the Celtics are looking for, I don't quite understand, why they would go all in as far as, a guy that's, coming to a close as far as his peak in the NBA.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown's only 2 years younger, to be honest.
I know, but Lou, let me ask you this.
Feels way younger, though.
Does this feel like there's some sort of end of the road because Jaylen Brown's been vocal, or is there more to this? Am I not getting this?
Yeah, if they've made an official offer and put him on a trade-in block and put him in deals, that tells you that the shot clock is on and that time is running. It looks like, this chapter of, the Boston Celtics and Jaylen Brown has come to an end if these things are official. And if you're the Boston Celtics, you got to make a big splash. If you're gonna shop a guy like Jaylen Brown, you better come back home with something of equal value or more value, depending on how you look at it and how you assess this. Now, how does he fit on a team? For the original question that you asked, Chandler, are they the favorites to come out of the East? I can't say they are because of how everybody is playing in the East, and also we got to see a full season of Jason Tatum. We got to see if Giannis is actually healthy, and if both of those guys are healthy enough to put a legitimate run together with the style of play. I'm not sure what's there. Boston is a 3-point shooting team that make no bones about that. How does Giannis give him a different look? How does he balance that attack out? Who knows? It's so many questions to be answered for me to even consider them being at the top of the Eastern Conference just based on this trade. But, you know, like you said, as far as Jaylen Brown is concerned, if they are offering him and putting him in these deals, it looked like that time has come to a close, especially if I'm him and he's just out traveling the world, boxing and dancing and twitching and streaming and racing and doing everything that he wants to do under the sun. He could care less about what's going on right now. I feel like whatever uniform Jaylen Brown puts on, he's going to put his best foot forward and he's going to give a team maximum effort. So let's see what happens.
But I don't know Jaylen Brown at all, but I can tell you now, just by being put into this trade and it being public that we are willing to give you up for Giannis right now, as good as we are, as good as we won a championship together, that doesn't matter. We are willing to package you for Giannis, and if it doesn't work out, I can tell you right now, he's not going to be stoked to go back to that franchise and that locker room. So this is a dicey move for the Celtics if they don't find something and if they don't get this done. You might see the most disgruntled Jaylen Brown you've ever seen before.
I think that might be a good thing, actually, if he comes back most.
Because now it's official. Now it's we would rather Giannis than you, and so you better get it done. If
love that. Because I can't help but think it's because he ruffled some feathers just by saying what he said out loud, which, again, I don't think was that big a deal, but here we are. This is going to actually
It doesn't look like he cares, though, does it?
It
doesn't look like he cares.
Well, why
like
would he care? He's got
living
$300
his
million
life
in the bank. Like, do whatever you're going to do.
Yeah, and I also just seen something where he's out working on his balance. He's out trying different things to strengthen his game and get better. So whether that's for the Boston Celtics or whomever else, he's going to come back in this season prepared and still in the mindset of trying to prove all doubters wrong and trying to be the best player he can be.
Yeah, and he's also coming off his best season. He's also coming off a career year. So, like, if I'm him, though, I don't want to get shipped to Milwaukee on a rebuilding team. I'd rather be on the Celtics and be on a relevant team that has a chance to actually compete and win a championship. Because he's 29 years old. It's not like he's a spring chicken either. So
it's a high-pressure stitch.
Would the move be him to Milwaukee, or would it be to another destination?
Like another team.
I think there's both options.
Yeah, I think both. But they're making it seem as though this one,
but this
one
is
for
the
one
centerpiece.
From everything I've seen, there's been multiple teams involved.
Like Atlanta could get involved with bringing him in a third team.
I saw the Clippers.
It could be. I mean, listen, a lot of teams would want Jaylen Brown.
Did Boogie just do a Segui? Did you just segue us into our next one? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, did I?
Look at that. That just happened. Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of the Clippers.
Speaking of the Clippers, McMahon reporting that Kawhi Leonard is going to have to take a significant pay cut if he wants an extension with the Clippers in the offseason. Again, a guy who doesn't look like he cares right now. Who is he?
Why wouldn't he? He's got 30 on the back end from the.
Chilling. He's just planting trees. Leave the man alone.
He's got 30 on the outside deal. He doesn't care.
There are rumors that he could go to the Warriors. There are also rumors that he could be the Heat's plan B if somehow they don't end up with Giannis. If they don't give him a max extension, Lou, I will start with you. Do you think he asks to be traded out of LA?
Yeah, well, I ain't taking no pay cuts. I'll tell you that right now. He ain't taking less. Listen, this is a two-time NBA champion. He's seen it all. He's done it all. He feels accomplished. He's done everything he can do besides win another championship. But he's already done it. So when it comes down to situations of money and you haven't won a championship for an organization, I have a hard time seeing him saying, I'm willing to take less so you guys can go make other moves, especially with, the climate and seeing how everybody is moving around and people are trying to find their way to what their next situation is going to be and what's going to be the best opportunity for me. So for themselves. And so I'm curious to see what Kawhi's decision is. I'm only speaking my opinion. I don't think he's going to take a pay cut to stay there. If there's a way that they can figure out the money part, I think he's happy with the Clippers. But if it comes down to money and taking less for somebody else, I don't see it happening.
And I can agree with that. I mean, when you look at the roster build of the Clippers, I mean, why would Kawhi take a pay cut? This isn't a team that's
close.
Yeah, it's not like they're competing for a championship in the next year. It's not. They're not even close. I don't even think they have a direction right now, and that's no knock to them. It's just, the nature of where they are as an organization and team. But, just based off that alone, I wouldn't understand why Kawhi would take a pay cut. We don't really have a plan right now. We're not one of the top teams in the West. So, and technically, I haven't even heard rumors of them, necessarily trying to bring in another star. So when you think about it like that, I mean, why would he take it?
Because when
you just hinted the one. something that's flying under the radar. Check out JB. That's one that's on the radar.
Now, if that happens, that's a reason to consider taking a pay cut. But like I said, that's smoke and mirrors as of right now. Until that happens, that's something to consider. But based off the makeup right now, it makes total sense as to why he wouldn't take a pay cut.
Yeah, I think at this point of his career, too, he's 34 years old. He's also coming off a fantastic year where he's gone through a bunch of injuries, more so than most players in the NBA, and still is playing at an elite level, but he's also made a lot of money. So would it make sense for Boston to do that, a competitive team to actually compete for championship? Maybe, but I'm with Boogie. There's no reason this dude should take a pay cut to go back to the Clippers. And even the other options, whether it's the Warriors or the Heat, realistically, those aren't championship rosters right now. Now, a lot can happen in the draft and free agency, but those three teams that I keep hearing his name surrounding don't really deserve a pay cut, in my opinion.
What comes first? The player takes the pay cut or the team gives the plan? If you were to say, hey, Kawhi, if you could take this little bit of a pay cut, here's what we're going to do. Is that just a plan?
If a San Antonio were talking to him, then there's possibly a situation where, hey, you can opt out and take a pay cut. No, I'm just saying that would be a situation where if I'm Kawhi,
because it's built in.
I'd consider it. It's comfortable. It's built in. I know what I'm going to get. I know I'm going to be on a really, really good team the next rest of my career. If it was something like that, sure. But if we're talking the Clippers and this coming season,
pipe dreams.
No chance I'm taking a pay cut.
Yeah, by the way, he's got a year left at 50. Yeah. Please tell me everybody saw him over the weekend at the Fashion
Chatty. What was he on, Lou?
Man.
I thought it was AS.
I know. I'm glad that y'all can see some parts of his personality. That's the Kawhi. I know. That's who I've shared a locker room with. He's a person with a lot of personality. He just doesn't like cameras, don't like media. Other than that, he loves his teammates, and every once in a while, it'll show. His personality will show. That's the real Kawhi right there, with all that drip on.
I mean, just front row at a fashion show. Never in a million years would I have.
This guy also played 65 games this year, so it's not like it's just this old head coming with a bad contract. He averaged 28 points and he's second team All-NBA. So this is still an elite player that can help any team.
So many things are going to happen. Anthony Slater reporting Draymond Green will most likely opt into the final year of his current deal. That's at about $27.5 million. Boogie, is this his final year with the Warriors? You buying that at all?
I'm not buying that. I think they'll figure out something down the line, something suitable for Draymond and the team, something that makes sense for both sides. I could see Draymond riding off in the sunset, retiring with the group he started with. It only makes sense. Obviously, you think about the group that came in, you think about guys like Clay. Didn't work out, unfortunately, it didn't work out the way, it should have with him riding off in the sunset as well. So I think they make the right decision with Draymond, and they just figure things out. So.
Yeah, I think he's a Warrior for life. I really do. I think his position stays there. Maybe go somewhere with LeBron. They have a really close relationship, and maybe they find a way to get that done with their connection with Rich Paul and things like that. But I just don't see it. I think him, Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, I think they ride into the sunset together. I think it makes the most sense for him to stay put there.
But we did
where he's all favorite. But yeah, I mean, it's still weird to be that Clay's on the Mavs.
I think he could end up there this year as well. So you never know.
I don't know, Lou. The expiring contract could be something valuable.
It is a value, but the way I see it, those guys built a dynasty together. They did some great things. Steve Kerr is under contract. Steph is under contract for another couple of years. Draymond opting in. It just feels right for these three guys to continue on together and figure out what their next moves are. If I'm thinking the way that they're thinking, listen, we've done this 4 times. We've gotten 4 championships out of this. Let's put some pieces around us and let's give ourselves another opportunity. I like the fact that they're not delusional about where they are as an organization and where they are as a team and their roster. They know they got to tighten some things up and give themselves an opportunity. But I think the big 3 stays. I think Draymond opts in and he's going to continue on with the Golden State Warriors. That's just me being a fan. I can't see him any other place doing anything else with any other team besides playing that 2-man game with Steph Curry.
It would be very weird. But like I said, we had to get used to it already once. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm still not used to that.
I'm not either.
I don't like it either. I'd rather Clay go back there than Draymond leave.
But then is that to win or is that feel good?
More of like a reunion.
Hollywood, like a Hollywood ending.
Possibly.
Yeah.
The Thunder obviously going to be looking to do some things. They kind of have to, by the way. They have a team option on Lou Dort for 17.7. That deadline's coming up June 29th. Mike Scotto said that they will exercise the option and then try to trade him. And as of right now, the Lakers seem to be a pretty decent suitor. You know what? Everyone's got to do something, Lou. So let's start with the Lakers on this one. Is that a good move?
I don't mind it.
All right.
I don't mind it. Lakers got plenty of scoring, and what was their Achilles heel this year? We constantly were talking about them on the defensive end. Were they strong enough on the defensive end to compete in the Western Conference? So you go ahead and get an elite level 3-and-D guy like a Lou Dort. That's what he does, and that's what he takes pride in. I think that gives the Lakers a good look. I'm in the same world with the OKC Thunder with Lou Dort as I am with Draymond Green. I've gotten so accustomed to seeing him with that group. I can't see him anywhere else. But if the Lakers decided that they wanted to get better on the defensive end, Lou Dort would be a tremendous start for them.
Yeah, this is interesting because I think it works perfect for both sides, right? I think he's exactly what the Lakers need in 3-and-D, space the floor, have someone make up that defensive slack for Luka and Austin Reeves if they do give Austin the big extension. And then for the Oklahoma City Thunder, you see they already made moves yesterday, trading Aaron Wiggins, but they still have Cason Wallace. They still have Jalen Williams. They still have A.J. Mitchell. It just feels like this postseason run for them, Lou Dort was going to be the odd man out this summer, because now I think there's really more of an emphasis on re-signing Isaiah Hartenstein. I think he's more valuable with the play of Chet in this offseason to reacquire him in free agency. So I do think Lou Dort is the odd man out, but the way he plays and the way he defends and shoots the ball, the Lakers would be a perfect fit. Like, every team will line up to try and get a Lou Dort because you can see how valuable his role is and how he plays the game in today's league. He's super valuable for any team, but I do love him for the Lakers.
I agree. I do love him for the Lakers. I think that's a perfect fit. I think that's the perfect mold of player to be next to a Luka Doncic. So that totally makes sense, and you understand why the Lakers are after a guy like that. But when it comes to the Thunder, I don't think this guy's on the move, and I think it's one thing we're kind of overlooking, and that's his relationship with Shea. These are two, guys that are from the same country, both Canadian. They kind of came in the game together. They've grown together over the years. They won championships over the years. So I think Shea plays a huge part in that, as far as voicing his opinion with keeping a guy like Lou Dort on the team. So I think OKC figures it out for both sides, and he continues on with the Thunder.
Holy smokes.
I know. I was like, we could act like this didn't just happen, but you know what? We're a live television show, so we might as well just mention the fact that Shams just put out a tweet. Breaking news. It looks like the Dallas Mavericks have their new head coach. We'll just throw that out there real quick. What do you think? Dusty
May.
This is a wrestling name. I'll never get
Listen,
past.
he's killed it in the college ranks. He started off from the bottom, and now obviously you see what he's done, winning a national championship. I don't know the guy. I like the youth. I like the way that he'll be able to coach and relate to Cooper Flagg and that young team. Is he an experienced championship-level coach to win now in the NBA? No, but neither was J.J. Redick. Neither were a lot of these guys that they just hired with not that experience. This guy's had a ton of experience in the college ranks. So, wow, that's crazy. I didn't see that happen.
I actually kind of for a half second forgot that they needed a new head coach, but this, I don't know, Lou, this...
Well, there you go with your cesspool, Chandler. We got some fresh blood.
They broke the chain. Like, yeah, I like that.
We got some fresh blood. Yeah, I don't know much about him as a person or as a coach. I know he just won the Natty, but again, trying to connect with young players and bringing in new talent and somebody with fresh ideas and philosophies to try to help these young stars and help the Dallas Mavericks get back on track. Much love to Dusty.
Did you say how many years yet? Money?
I can't see it, but this was the dude. Remember at FAU? This was like the Lob City team in the tournament.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this guy, he's been around for a while. He's fun, he's exciting, he's innovative, he runs a great offense. He just won a championship, right, at Michigan this past year.
Does that mean, does it feel like this is just like a complete young start? Like everything's going to be fresh?
I'm thinking
young?
It sounds young. Sounds like it's
Right?
kind of getting on.
Willie, hold on. He's 50, y'all. He ain't that young.
Whoa.
Yeah, but no NBA experience.
Excuse me?
He's 50. He's not that young. Is 50 that young? You can make it about you, Beats. I'm talking about him.
Yeah, it is. It's real young, Lou. Okay? Thank you.
I love you, Beats.
I know you don't. No, it feels like that. Maybe we're starting something fresh and new.
Yeah, it seems like it's trying to get on the same timeline as their young stud and Cooper Flagg. You bring in a fresh face, a new coach to this system, bringing his own new system in. I think it works perfectly, honestly. So it makes sense.
I'm thinking big picture here.
Here we go.
I'm thinking Todd Golden, hit the portal right now, get all these kids that are going to Michigan next year. Now that he's leaving, get on the phone
Did you
right
just
now
text him?
and get him. No, but I will.
Okay, well, we're going to go to break. You text Todd Golden real quick and tell him
Dusty May.
because that portal just opened up.
Like, did
probably.
Cooper Flagg have any input in that decision? Like, I want this.
I'm pretty sure
like,
you know.
But can
I'm
I
saying,
ask you this?
was he part of the
Does he
interview
have any
process?
input
Like, does he
for it?
have juice? Like,
Does he know enough to have him?
he's a little young to give him.
Cooper Flag on a beach somewhere. He saw it like we saw it.
That's actually, he may not even know yet. He may not even be awake yet on
We just
vacation
broke it.
somewhere. All right, so some college stuff to the pros. Speaking of, look at that segue. Another one. We're going to talk draft next. I feel like today's just going too smoothly. I don't like it. We'll be right
What
back.
else? Give us something else.
Give me some breaking news. So the draft is mañana. All the outfits have been picked out. That's kind of like the fun part about it. 8 Eastern, first round, we got AJ Dybantsa, Darren Peterson. That looks to be what's going to happen at that #1 spot. And it looks as though Peterson perhaps gaining a bit of momentum over the weekend, which is, didn't we do this with Paolo Banchero like that year where it was like we didn't know who it was going to be? Chandler, you're our college guru.
There's always, first of all, there's always reports. There's always stuff like this that come out from
mess with your
agencies, from families, from friends. Like there's always stuff getting plugged before the draft, before a workout, before the combine. This always happens, so I wouldn't be thrown off too much by this. Highest ceiling, this one's tough because this draft is so good. You could put Caleb Wilson in that as highest ceiling just because of his size, his length, his athleticism, like the things he can do with the basketball at that size and at that age are super impressive, and he's going to continue to expand his game. Now, if I'm the Wizards, I'm probably taking the for sure AJ. Like, there's too much mystery, there's too much negativity surrounding Darren Peterson, his short college career, just personality traits, which might not even be fair. The kid might just be smoke. Like,
It was a bad PR thing.
yeah, like who knows? But I just think for where the Wizards are now, I think you got the safe pick is AJ Dybantsa, but both these kids could be really good. Boozer's going to be really good. Wilson's going to be really good. There's kids that are going to fall to late in the lottery that have a chance to be all-stars in this draft. Like, it is a super deep draft.
I agree. I mean, when it comes to these two specifically, I mean, the talent is undeniable. When it comes to trying to figure out who has a higher ceiling, you're going to have to break it down when it comes to, who plays both sides of the ball. Because offensively, when it comes to talent, I think they both have it. Two different styles of play, but, both very talented offensively. But I think AJ ends up with the highest ceiling just because of the size, the frame, and the fact that he could be really good defensively in that same frame. So think about it in that way, I think the highest ceiling is AJ.
Yeah.
Lou, any thoughts? Is Lou still with us?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. I was like, got nervous for a second. What do you think?
I'll take off. No problem.
No.
No, I like all of these young guys. I agree with Chandler. I think AJ is I think that's the safe pick. If you don't want to get anything wrong. But Darren Peterson has been doing a great job of putting his name back in that conversation to want to be the #1 pick. Caleb Wilson is also someone I've been high on. I've seen him play, throughout high school, throughout college. He's an Atlanta kid. He's local, so very high on him. Acuff is another guy that's gonna do great. I feel like Cam Boozer. These top 5 picks, all of these guys, I feel like are gonna have the opportunity to change a franchise and have an opportunity to have really illustrious careers. But I think AJ Dybantsa is still the guy with the highest ceiling in this draft right now.
Yeah.
So exciting. It's like their lives are going to change in hours.
I told you at the break, I
exciting.
love the draft. Like
What do you love? Because for me, I'm just like, just tell me who gets what. I'll be happy.
I'll watch every single pick.
What do you love about it?
I just love that I know this is where it starts. It's the beginning. This is where kids' literally dreams are made. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like when I look back at my NBA career, there are so many cool moments, but like I swear the draft was like one of the biggest ones. And I was a 38th pick. Wasn't even that dope. It's just hearing I watched it my whole life, and to hear your name get called, I'm telling you, it was just like a feeling that you can't explain.
I could see
And I'm
that.
hyped for these kids to go through that. And these kids are
agree.
like, it's the best.
All right. I always wondered, but that makes sense from a player's perspective. I always wonder what other people love about the draft. I kind of like just the party of it.
Like, I hate when the kid goes to the draft too and falls to like the 32nd pick too. Like, it's devastating for me. I hate it.
Although that one, wow, what is the?
Remember like Jameer Nelson back in the day? He was like had a great year at St. Joe's and just kept falling. Like,
But remember when it was funny when Brady Quinn did? Anyways, Markieff Morris says that Peterson is the best player in the draft because, and this is kind of big, Boogie, flashes of Kobe.
And I agree with that.
All right.
I can see exactly what he's saying. You know, even when it comes to, you know, the narrative around his name right now, it's not the best, and I would like to call it more, you know, a self-centered type of vibe, which also was kind of Kobe.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a lot of similarities between the two players, even when it comes to the size, the movements, the athleticism, the craftiness with the ball. He has a lot of ability on the floor. So, you know, it's not far off from what he's saying at all.
Yeah,
I can definitely see the flash.
His biggest issue is just being available, right? I think he missed 10 or 11 games this year. He missed a lot of games like due to cramping and like he just had a very weird season where like the talent is unbelievable. Like he is a buttery, smooth scorer who can get to his mid-range, can get downhill, can shoot the ball at a high clip. It's just at this early of his age, like, is it a little concerning that he's missing time already and has had these injuries and missed so much, you know, games? It's just a little interesting for that pick. But the talent, I see a lot of Kobe in him, just the way he can get to his mid-range, get to his spots, rise above you. He's got a chance to be very, very good. It's just a little concerning about his, you know, health.
And that, I feel like those types of concerns, Lou, when we're saying them now, like the day before the draft, if it comes out that that is going to be a problem throughout his career, we're going to look back and be like, well, we kind of knew. I mean, that's sort of the risk you take, no?
Yeah, that's the risk you take, and unfortunately, that's what happens when you allow agents and managers and all of these type of people in college basketball. Your narrative and all of those things, it kind of, you allow other people to be a part of that process and be a part of how people draw opinions on you. You know, I'll tell you my personal opinion. Every time I tuned in to watch Kansas play, he was either injured or he was coming out of the game early. It was always something happening, whether it was a manager or agent kind of behind the bench telling the coach, you know, he's going to play this X amount of minutes, or him doing all of these things. Like, you know, and you'll judge a young player by seeing all of those things. It's bad optics, but the talent is there. Yeah. You can't take away from that. Say what you want to say. The talent is there. The young cat can play. Obviously, Markieff Morris is a Kansas guy. This is his young fella, so he's gonna go to war for him. I know him and his brother. They are very loyal guys. They're gonna be loyal to the soil with anybody that's associated with anything that they're associated with. So I'm not wrong for him in the Kobe comparison. That's what he's supposed to do as a big brother type. But like I said, this kid is talented. He's going to change the dynamic however a franchise wants to go. He's that type of player. But we all got to agree that, you know, some of the optics and the antics getting to the next level is not going to work. And somewhat it's kind of hurt the narrative a little bit. Yeah.
The agent stuff is weird to me. Like that can't be a part of this story so early on. I don't think. But you're close to Ryan Smith, yeah? That's his question.
Yeah, we cool.
Yeah, we cool. If you were him, what would you figure out? What kind of finagling would you do to get that one pick and get AJ?
That's not happening. They're not going to move off the second pick. Although the relationship is there, the connection with BYU is there. I think they're set on the number 2 pick. And I got to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if they go with Cam Boozer. I think all the issues with Peterson, you know, not to mention his father works for the team. Like, there's just a lot of connections. And when you look at Cam Boozer, it's kind of boring, right? It just is what it is. He dominates. He had one of the best freshman seasons of all time, but there's not like a ceiling. There's not a potential through the roof like these other 3 guys. But it's probably the safest pick. Like, this guy's going to average 16 and 8 in his whole career, and he's going to possibly be an all-star. He's going to be steady. He's going to produce. And I think that's exactly what, you know, a team like Utah could use. And then you the whole Walker Kessler thing. Like, hey, look. You don't want to re-sign this extension? Well, we're going to take Cam Boozer a second, and that really makes you, you know, expendable. So they got Jaren Jackson, they got talent now, they have Lauri Markkanen, like they have a lot of bigs. So roster-wise, it might not look like it makes sense, but I know that they are in love with Cam Boozer, and it's less of a mystery. And Peterson's made it known that he's only interviewed for the Wizards, and doesn't want to go to Utah. Well, guess what? There's 2 dudes right behind you that we can take that we'll be thrilled with anyway. So they're in a good shape.
Who are Peterson's agents? Like, who are these people?
Not sure.
I don't know if I like the job they're doing.
The only meeting with the Wizards was weird.
Like, why are you saying that out loud?
Yeah. It's not like he's Cooper Flagg or Zion. Like, there's no doubt number 1 pick, only meeting with the first team. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But, you know, as far as, you know, Cam Boozer, I think, like Chandler said, I think he's a very safe pick. You know exactly what you're getting from this kid. Just the maturity, coming from a professional background as far as who his father is. Kid knows how to play the game, can play multiple positions, does multiple things on the floor, can defend multiple positions. Everything you're kind of looking in this positionless league right now. So I think he's a safe pick. Projected to be at least a 15-year guy in this league.
Nice.
Just the way he carries himself. Everything is on par for what, Utah is looking for. And like you said, his father being in the front office, that's only the cherry on top. So it makes sense.
That is kind of crazy. No, we're not doing a Rick Brunson thing all over again. Lou, I'm gonna go to you on the Grizzlies because they do have that third pick. So if we just assume at this point AJ and Darren are both gone, you got Zach Edey there. We don't know what else is going to be happening by the time the season starts. Cam Boozer or Caleb Wilson? Are you taking one of those two or someone else completely different?
If Caleb Wilson is still available at 3, you gotta go Caleb Wilson at 3. Wiry, athletic, getting a lot of Kevin Garnett, those type of comparisons. Me watching him, I love his game. I think he's a 3. He's a stretch 4 type of player. So much potential to be even better than a lot of the guys that's in this class. I was one of the people that was saying maybe you look at him at 1 as somebody that you can look at down the line 7, 8 years from now and say, you know what, we got this right. We gambled on this kid and we got it right. I think if you're the Memphis Grizzlies, you take that risk, you take that gamble, and you get a kid like a Caleb Wilson. Just for laughs, I was going to ask Chandler, what does he think about Memphis, just to see if we can get something good out of it. Every time he comes up with something for Memphis, I was wondering if we could get something good out you, Chandler.
Well, I was thinking, careful what you wish for, Peterson, because you're probably going to end up in Memphis at number 3 now, saying you don't want to go. And at least, again, talent-wise too, like Utah has the infrastructure now of being a competitive. I
mean, they've been doing this for a while.
Team. They've
been building this.
They've been really good at being bad to get in this position. The Memphis Grizzlies, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if they take Boozer at 2, which then I think the Grizzlies would have to take Peterson. Who knows where John Morant's future is? Peterson has the star potential. He's got the chance to be a franchise piece, but it is a risk. But so is Caleb Wilson. But if I had the option of those 2 at 3, I'd take Peterson. But if not, I mean, Cam Boozer, again, that's just a fundamental sound piece that you can have as a franchise moving forward with not really, a high risk like a Caleb Wilson. But then you could be missing on the chance of an unreal all-star superstar in Caleb Wilson. But if I'm them, I think Peterson falls to 3, and I think they take him.
Okay, first of all, that would be crazy if he only talked to the Wizards. Okay, here, this is for you.
Would you guys rather go to Memphis or Utah? Like right now, not even city-wise, and I'm not even talking about organization.
Please don't get started on it.
I'm just saying, team-wise, wouldn't you rather go to the Utah Jazz with that talent?
He was going to give me what I was looking for, Boogie. I knew he was going to give it to me.
Let's not do that.
I'm asking you a question.
No, he's being genuine.
Team-wise?
He's being genuine.
For me personally, I'm going to Memphis.
For what? John Morant's not even going to be there.
What do I look like in Utah?
What do you mean?
The same way you feel about Memphis is how I feel about Utah.
Oh, you're
team-wise, fellas. Team-wise.
No, I'm talking about
team-wise. Well,
I said team-wise. It has nothing to do with color, but I signed there intentionally for 4 years,
Intentionally?
Intentionally? That's what we're doing?
I didn't get traded. I picked that place.
Why did you pick it, you think?
Money.
I know, so shut up. Like, that is not...
This dude, man.
Ryan Smith didn't own the Jazz at that point.
Yeah, you would have stolen money there if you could have done that.
For sure went there.
Draymond had some pretty hefty...
We're just moving on? We're just moving on from that?
Well, I mean... Okay, fine. You want everyone to just say Utah has a better roster. That's what you want.
Yes, going into next year, it's not even close.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom, moving on.
Yeah.
He compared Cam Boozer to Tim Duncan in approach and Caleb Wilson's floor to that of a Kevin Garnett. Those are 2 huge names, Draymond. What do you make of that?
I think he's pretty spot on. And obviously, we're talking about similarities. We're thinking best case scenarios, and we're looking at a lot of their intangibles. So when you look at Cam Boozer, like I said, he's one of the safer picks. He's a very sound player. He's pretty much good at everything defensively, offensively. So when you think of him in that way, it obviously brings up a guy like Tim Duncan. Super fundamentally sound, so it makes sense. And then when it comes to Caleb Wilson, his versatility, the athleticism, the length, the height, the way he can run the floor, play multiple positions, do a lot of different things with the ball, obviously it reminds you of a guy like Kevin Garnett. So I think Draymond's spot on. And at the end of the day, this is, best case scenario. You never know what happens with each guy's career. These guys can come out and become even better than the guys we're mentioning. You just never know. But when it comes to the similarities, it makes sense.
And by the way, he said approach, right? Like that, I totally agree with it. Like Cam Boozer he's got that big, fundamental, very methodical approach that Tim Duncan had, and same thing with Caleb Wilson. He's kind of got this skilled, wiry, athletic, length that KG had, and he's more explosive and more vocal, and he's more of a star prospect. So I totally agree and vouch for what Draymond's saying here.
All right.
Yeah.
And
I think we forget that we just talk about the outline of players, like who they remind you of, not necessarily everything that they've done and saying you're going to go out and accomplish those things. A lot of times we look at a player, we can like the approach, what Chandler just said. If you look at Cam Boozer, you can see it in the way that he attacks the game. It's Tim Duncan-like. It ain't like he's going to go out and be Tim Duncan, but it's Tim Duncan-like. And sometimes with player comps, people get all up in hands when you hear a certain name of this player, that player. It's just an outline of what you see. That's it.
Yeah.
This next one cracks me up, okay? A Western Conference scout said that Jalen Brunson has brought back the prototype of a small guard who could lead a team. 8 days ago,
now we're doing the opposite.
we were arguing about this. Now we are back to it's awesome, which I'm not arguing against this. But Lou, that being said, does it open up anybody's eyes? Do you think the door is now open for dudes that perhaps, I don't know, weren't getting looks before? An A-cuff perhaps becomes more valuable?
I think you go out and get the best player available that fits what you need as an organization. You don't necessarily go out and just go get a small guard because Jalen Brunson did it. And like you just mentioned, 8 days ago, we were still arguing whether small guards could even win a championship still. So now that Jalen Brunson's do it, now he's brought back a prototype. I don't really understand what we're trying to get out of it. But when you look at the draft, obviously you have A-Cuff there. He's going to be one of those small guard guys. And outside of just being a small guard, he's one of the best players in the draft. He's going to give you an opportunity to win games if he lives up to the potential and the hype of what you feel like he is as a player. But you don't go draft him based on a prototype of what somebody else has been able to go do. You don't do that.
Yeah, no, you don't just take him because a small guard
He's little,
finally let it. No, they don't. I think you take him because you're infatuated with the way he can score the basketball and the way he plays, and he's fire and he has heart. And the freshman year he just had was historic. Like that's why you take him, and you believe in his game, and it's going to transition, to the NBA where his size won't be an issue, and they can cover for him defensively and. Things like that where he's going to struggle. But this kid is an absolute bucket. He's super talented. He's just always going to have his size against him. But there's defensive schemes and stuff to help with that. But no, you don't just take him because Jalen Brunson just had a phenomenal year and he's 6'2".
How fickle are we as people?
That's just
we
ridiculous.
Literally just argued this 20 minutes ago, and now we're like, no, you got to get a small guy.
That's how quick the NBA changes, though.
It's crazy.
And it's a very trendy league. And, obviously, it was a big conversation. Jalen Brunson proved a lot of people wrong, including myself, which is all good, whatever. But it is a trendy league. I do believe it will be teams that will possibly take that chance as far as trying to build something similar. But I think when it comes to having a small guard like a Jalen Brunson or a Darius A-Cuff, you got to have the right roster around them to make it work. Well, that goes for any player. So let's not just make it about small guards. When it comes to the talent, you got to have the right roster to complement the talent. So Jalen Brunson definitely did, a huge service as far as, putting the small guards back on the right side of the road as far as, believing in them, believing in something that can be accomplished, and having a team being led by a smaller guard. So shout out to Jalen Brunson as far as doing that. But let's not forget, this is a trendy league. So it's possible.
I will say I love A-Cuff, but I feel like he's either going to go 6 to Brooklyn or 7 to Sacramento, and I don't think those are great situations for him, obviously talent-wise and team-wise. But this kid, is, like we just said, this dude averaged 23, 24 points in his freshman season in the SEC.
Oh, he's the real deal.
He is the real deal, and he's going to be showcased. So on the flip side, he's going to get his numbers. He's going to get a lot of minutes on those teams. But you also want to build a team around this guy and have him be on a relevant team.
That's not how it works, though, is it?
Especially not in the lottery, usually.
It really isn't. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. More Run It Back on the other side.
Run it back, run it up, then run it back.
So we got free agency after, about a week away or so. So we got to figure out if some of these teams need to blow it up or build it up. And we're going to start with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So 52-30, they finished 4th in the East, and then we watched them get swept by the New York Knicks. So should they build it up or blow it up? Chandler P.
Oh, I didn't want this one.
Yep, you're getting this one.
This one's tough.
Why didn't you want this one?
Because it's tough, because they could just stay put and probably be a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference and you know, hope they're healthy and hit momentum in the playoffs, but like they don't have enough. So I don't want them to, what is it, build it up or what?
Blow it up.
Blow it up. They don't need to blow it up, but they need some sort of change. They need some sort of turnover to you know, be better in the postseason. And they just did that with James Harden, and clearly that didn't work. They were a better team in the regular season, but then his, you know, postseason struggles continued. I love the dynamic duo of Mitchell and Mobley, but I just feel like they got to get off something. They maybe get off Jared Allen and try and get something back, but they need other pieces. So I don't want them to blow it up, because I think they can stay put and still be a good team.
That's building it up then, Chandler.
Yeah, I think they build it up, because
You do think they build it up?
well, I don't want them to blow it up, but they need to get rid of 1 or 2 pieces and bring in some fresh blood, because clearly what they're doing is great regular season.
2 main pieces, like 2 of the main 4, because that, to me, that's a blow up. If you get rid of 2 main guys.
Who's your
I think
2?
Jared Allen's the one to go.
That's a big one. Okay.
No, I think they keep Mobley.
Allen.
I think they keep Mobley. I think they keep Donovan Mitchell. But again, I think the core of this roster is good enough to get you a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. So I don't want them to blow it up. That'd be ridiculous.
Okay.
And analytically, they're right there.
No.
But I think they build it up and keep what they have, and I feel like they're right there. They just suck in the playoffs.
Okay. Anybody else? Does anybody want to argue that before I move on, Lou?
Like, I don't want them to blow up their team. Like,
I think they should continue to build it up.
Okay.
You know, they made a conference finals first time since 2018, so that's something to be proud of.
Baby steps.
They had a good season, you know, regardless of how it ended in the conference finals. They lost to a really, really good Knicks team. But I don't think they're far off. They do have to do some tweaking to their roster, figure out some, you know, specific roster moves. If it's moving Jared Allen, if it's, you know, sticking with James Harden moving forward. But I do like their core as far as Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. So, you know, that's a good start. But figuring out those other 2 guys, I think that's the issue moving forward.
Okay. All right. So, Lou, I'm going to start with you on the next one, and we're going to go down to Houston and take a look at the Rockets. 52-30. They lost in the first round for the 2nd straight season, despite the fact that Kevin Durant, well, they got him. Of course, he didn't play much in the playoffs, unfortunately. Young players didn't seem to really take much of a step forward, I would say. So, build it up or blow it up for Houston?
No, you continue to build. The season didn't go your way, but you got a lot of young pieces that you can build around, and you can see the potential of what's next to come. I think they got a quality coach. I think they got a quality roster. You go out, Fred VanVleet will be back, so you'll shore up some of your point guard worries that they had this year. If you can go out and go get another dynamic scorer that's out there in free agency or in the trade market, you continue to build. But right now, if you're Houston, you don't love where you are, but you see where you can go. So you don't blow it up at this point. You definitely build it up.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have so much talent. They have, you know, 2 stars in Sengun and Kevin Durant, and then Thompson's on the rise. I think getting Fred back, getting Steven Adams back, being whole, I think this team will make a jump. And they have a lot of attractive assets that other teams would be interested in if they wanted to make a move. Tari Eason's free agency is going to be interesting. I think he'd be the one that they would kind of let walk. But I think this team has a lot of talent, and they continue to build it up.
So far, we're not blowing things up.
Can't blow this up. Continue to build it up. Like Lou said, your head point guard is back in Fred VanVleet. I do believe they also need to add another scorer. You got a guy like Jaylen Brown, whose name is floating around right now, you know, in trade speculation. So with the way the Rockets are set up right now, they have a lot of assets. They have a lot of young players that could make that, you know, possibly make that situation a real thing. You connect Jaylen Brown with his former coach, and I think they have a good situation moving forward. But they do have the core to, you know, continue to move forward. I think it's just about making those pieces complement one another, and I think the biggest thing is getting Fred VanVleet back.
Jaylen Brown in Houston's fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fun
Like
one.
that a lot.
Let's talk Mavericks. They just this morning made it official. They've got their new head coach in Dusty May. We know they have Cooper Flagg. Kyrie missed the entire season, and they finished 26-56, which was good enough for 12th in the West. Now they've been, vocal, I guess, in saying they'll trade Clay, Gafford, PJ Washington. So I don't know how we're going to classify this one, Boogie, blowing it up or building it up. That's 3 guys, but I don't know if that's considered.
Yeah,
I think blew it up already.
Yeah.
Once.
Kind of did, right?
Yeah, they're already in the midst of their blow
too.
up. Just continue the process, continue to, develop the young talent, continue to fill, the team with other young assets and young pieces. They got a good coach coming in as far as what he's done on the collegiate level. We'll see what happens at the pro level. But, everything is moving forward the way it should for this group. So just continue on the path they're on right now.
They have Cooper Flagg, they have their guy going forward, so whatever they do, if they blow it up, they're going to blow it up with him being built around, you know what I mean? So, and I don't think they do that. I think they just need to be patient. Like, they weren't patient with the Luka, they weren't patient with the Anthony Davis. There's no reason. Let's see what kind of version we get of Kyrie Irving. Let's see what, PJ, and shop PJ and Gafford and Klay Thompson. I wouldn't. I wouldn't early just to see what he's like.
You have to.
I think he could be very.
You take the call.
Very
You just don't
good.
proactively go out.
You have to shop Kyrie.
What you saying, Boogie?
They're on two different timelines. We're talking about a 19-year-old rookie and a 32-year-old, 33-year-old guy that's I think he's still a very good player, but he's towards the end of his career. The timelines don't match up, and you can still get some value back as far as, moving off of Kyrie right now. So it only makes sense for them to.
And this existing roster is not good enough to compete, but they do guys like Lively, Gafford, Klay, PJ. Those are
good assets.
It would be closer to a blow up than a build up, but regardless, they have Cooper Flagg to do either or.
Boogie, only thing that I'm thinking, Kyrie is in his mentor bag. You see what he's doing with the youth. You got a 19-year-old that can use your experiences and can use you as a point guard to help him win some basketball games. That's the only thing that's attractive to me in Kyrie staying in Dallas. But I agree with you guys. You have the assets to go out there and shop some guys around to bring back in a big load of guys that can help you. A haul of guys that can help you win a lot of basketball games. When it comes to Kyrie Irving and his mentoring, I think he can help Cooper Flagg.
Hey, I agree with all that. I agree with all that as far as Kyrie being a mentor, being in his bag. But that's what texts and emails are for. He can continue to do all that.
That's what those are.
Him being in Dallas with that young group, it literally don't make no sense.
He can do that anyway.
Hey, shoot him a text, man.
Get Starlink.
Proud of your work, young fella. Hey, still works.
That's the worst mentor ever. We're going to take a quick break, wrap things up on the other side. Text him.
Run it up, then run it back.
All right, so let's just say the Giannis trade. We'll throw that out. Lou, I'll start with you. Really? Draft night. Which trade would be the most exciting for you to hear?
If you're going to shop Jaylen Brown, go and get him out of there. Make it sooner than later. That's the one I would see.
That'll make it nuts.
You know what? We were just talking at the break.
Talk to me.
I would love to see Kyrie Irving now in Minnesota. I agree with you. I think if he doesn't match up the timeline, and I'd rather him than John Morant with Anthony Edwards. I would love to see Kyrie Irving on a relevant team with Chris Finch.
With Ant. Oh yeah. I mean, what? Are we on the air?
Meow, Finch. Slay King. No, I think that would be a great trade.
Okay, I don't hate it.
I actually like the second name you mentioned, John Morant. I want him to get to a new situation, find a home, get back to being the great player that he was, get this show back on the road.
I mean, it's been like 10 years since we've seen John Morant play basketball. Yeah. That's insane.
And he's too good, man.
Too good. We'll be back mañana. Enjoy some soccer. Why not?